looked so dire is going to be a driving force as well coming into this, especially when they'll have this CT side start. So let's see if Big get off to the slow start or whether they keep that ball rolling off the map win of Heroic. Pistols are out, and there's no utility here for Big. No utility for anyone, actually. There's no kits anywhere. Everyone's just got armor. So it's straight up going to be a brawl.
There was a lot of noise being made, which just sneaks Tizian into that B split. And this round, I mean, it's already pretty much over, right? You have a look at the B side just being completely handled. Sirison on the late lurk from mid. How does this get winnable from Heroic?
I'll have to clear it out. Seems like they're wide swinging for this opportunity. Cadian now in the corner. Sirison prepared for this fight, making steps all the way, but oh my god, it's so labored. Oh, Cadian somehow gotten away. He's got the full reload off, and he finds the trade.
All right, then. Into the retake we go. Heroic need to find another pick in quickly. Big, they're not really overextending. A couple of jiggle peeks here or there from Cade. Peeking on each other's contact. Tizian with the USP comes away with 3. And Cadian's now the last one left to try and bring this round together. Tizian even looks for that quadra, and he finds it. What a round from the lurker that wrapped in to open up the bomb site. Finishes on an absolute high note.
Man, what a sneaky strat there from Big. You know, you're highlighting them breaking all of that glass. It's almost indicative of a Big trying to set up for some kind of utility, and they don't have any. They instead go for a burst in, and Heroic are caught sleeping, not really prepared for any sort of mid pressure at all. That's that like reads like an anti-strat there from Big, and it's perfectly placed.
What I'm worried about Yuumi is Big. They're 3 for 3 for pistols. They also haven't won a conversion round just yet. So is this where we just see Heroic do the exact same of history?
Oh, Deeg's out. Flash is perfect. And finally tags through on the crossback. Nessus was just trying to fall away, but he'll happily take a kill as a result. And Refresh has found another. Oh no, it feels like things might line up similarly. They're already down 2 men.
Jeez, how has this happened again? Coming in for Big. They need someone to make a play. They've got to open up this A side, and Heroic are just so defensive. Playing back passive, playing out the number games. And for Big, they need multi-kills, and they need them quickly.
Oh god, they're doubled up, so Cadian can quickly trade. Refresh trying to cross that gap as well. He's isolated, so Gade can get that kill. But there's just trades back and forth. This is looking like another lost conversion round here from Big. The anti-force finding not too much. Heroic, once again, losing all 3 pistols, but winning the round straight after.
And it just makes me wonder for Big, do you not intentionally lose the round, but do you put more emphasis on maybe not having the pistol be as strong, so you're not getting in this position? Because they're just resetting themselves, aren't they, by winning pistol and then losing that anti-eco every single time. If it happened once out of the 3 opportunities, we can sit there and be like, all right, it's happened once. It's happened 3 out of 3 times.
I mean, there've been some like great little niche plays as well from Heroic. You know, setting up for those flashes, continually facing it, and kind of feigning that they were falling back. Hard to call. Now it's obviously the force buy in response there from Big. We kind of talked about that back and forth, especially at the start of games. You don't want to give up those opening opportunities, especially when you could have taken bigger leads. So Sirison's already clapped back. This man-down situation for Heroic, and with Shush being an isolated B-side player, you kind of expect him to try and get some early information. The rest of the squad comfortable at A with their trifecta. If they let this round slip after winning that second, that would be a tragedy. Out with the wide swing. Cadian does find 2, but there's that Sirison trade.
That scout doing damage, and we know what could be achieved with that scout. Stan on that off angle, drops the bomb, and now it just makes it very difficult. The trade back is trying to come through for the Beagles. The headshot not coming in for Tizian, and now Sirison is pretty much all but done. Gonna get tagged up even further, 16 HP, needs to win another fight, and it's just not gonna happen. Big not being able to go back and forth, which allows Heroic to find their second. Some comfortability very early on in this first half, and what are we gonna see on the eco? Couple of upgraded pistols here or there, not a lot.
Yeah, they'll have to take the knee. If you're Big, you win this battle. But soon they will have the bye. Overall, great stuff. You know, we've seen a couple of these ramp contests here from Heroic that have been well placed to meet most of Big, and Cadian as well with the SMG. It's a complete mowdown. The rifle right behind him, and Cadian doesn't get found. Cadian's been slippery in a lot of these pistol v pistol fights. Gets away with a whole lot of cash, too.
And the one element you really don't want to give the CTs on a Glock round is farm. Is just farm economy. And what happens is they run out mid. They run into the only SMG that Heroic have, which kind of sucks. You don't really know all the information coming into that round, but this is now where things get important. You've got the Galils in, you've got the AKs out, util across the board, and for Heroic, can they just continue to put pressure on? They actually want to take this grab control. What a utility to get Cadian flying forward.
God.
Jeez, he's getting spammed though, isn't he?
Yeah, a lot of damage onto Cadian, so falling back, at least that's the lowest value weapon that you're bringing into this round. I was going to maybe make an argument to maybe you see the upgrade for the AWP, but trying to keep that bonus in play. This isn't exactly a premium buy here from Big. You know, you highlight as many Galils as you do, but they'll have to make do.
Just a walk, and they're playing 2 in mid for Heroic. They're even bringing a 3rd player over. Look at this read.
Swing out to the top. Tizian's come away with the 2 kills. Shush there. The unaccounted 3rd man, Heroic, line them up, and now they funnel into that B bomb site, trying to keep them busy. Stound's low, but the nade will keep them at least deterred. Gade's low, 7 HP. There's no real chance to cross all too safely, but finally a little bit of solace, a little bit of space given up. Problem is he doesn't have the bomb.
Yeah, that bomb falling with the pack in from mid. And what a read that was for Heroic to retake that mid pressure with 3 CTs. And it just goes back and forth with the trading. It means that the B anchor of at least refresh, just try and hold, right? Just try and see if you can keep alive for as long as possible. Gade, how do you win this? He gets the bomb. They're giving him a lot of respect in this 1v2. So he's going to get a bomb down nevertheless. Whether he wins the round or not, it's an extra cash injection.
May not have realized just how low he was. It can be kind of hard to communicate that all too effectively, but now moving in for this retake, they have a molly, smoke flash. They can double up as well and just prioritize that trade. It's all a mind game here for Gade about whether they separate. Problem is as well, because Heroic were so far away from B, they have to clear a lot of these close rotate angles just in case Gade's pushed.
It's slow. Very slow coming in from Heroic, and they've got some nades. Gade's not even jiggling, and it makes sense. He's so low HP, he can't afford to even look for information, can't afford to try and fade out a fight. They are going to put one of the smokes down, swings out wide, and yeah, they can just get onto the bomb straight away. Time is still relatively low. They are really putting the counter into this one. They still get their force, and for Big, it's a decent recovery. When you think of the way that the mid pressure gets shut down, they lose the bomb, it's the 2 B players up from stairs to try and recover that round. They do decently. They get a bomb down, it allows them to buy again if they so desire. You'd probably expect to buy up.
They will commit at least halfly so. Felt like a round, another one that potentially slipped through their fingertips, but it would have been a tall ask. And so they go for these pistols, a whole lot of utility, so they can set up for an execute should they desire. Cadian's kind of alone over towards this B bomb site. 1 flash is enough to push him back. This time Heroic not going for an initiative play over at A, B, or mid. Just playing contained in these sites. A little boost up from Big could be quite dangerous. Cadian's even falling further away from this bomb site, so should Big realize this, if they decide to sort of contact in, they'll get a lot of open territory.
Even if they 1-for-1 the AWPer, there's a chance that they can try and get that AWP back over to Cirrus and set themselves up in the post plant. Cadian has to try and fight. Buy time for the rotations. The Incendiary is going to slow it down. Big have still got all of the approach to open up the bomb site, and Cadian goes, yeah, I have to fall back. I can't push through that smoke. I don't have teammate support.
Yeah, flashes are in as they rotate, but yeah, no sight lines. Too many smokes down. Tessa's trying to bridge that gap. Bounce right on top of Searson. Perfect lineup, and now they have to get that bomb dialed in once again. The smokes are fading, so there's no real coverage for a lot of these players to fall on back here for Big. The jump up from Gade, he actually overpowers Tessis. Unable to adapt in time. It's a 4-on-3 for this retake, and Keto's up close with his AK. They're trying to set up for a crossfire, a make do one at that, and they could really catch Heroic off guard. This smoke is so fresh.
Oh, Gade is close, very close. How can they set the AK up? Time is running lower. They're going to start flying into the side. The Tech 9 up close, doing damage. Gade gets away with a couple. The CPC kicks back. Refresh finding one and the second. Tizian just got to try and play time. Defend that bomb the best that he can. Draw the attention over there. Sticking the defense. He needs to try and catch him off. The AWP player is going to stay alive from Cadian. Another great recovery out from Heroic. One of those late retake scenarios again.
And it felt like Big had all the opportunity there. Sure, they're that man down, but they create this crossfire as that smoke is beginning to fade. Gade gets these 2 kills, and it's Keto with the rifle that's unable to really trade things out effectively. His teammate gets overwhelmed, that crossfire breaks down, and then suddenly you're relying on that P250 to perform. Man, Heroic have really been cutting these retakes close, but they have been able to convert consistently. Oh, quick decapitation in from Searson. That wasn't exactly a full buy from Big. They made it threatening. Now on the rifles, they find 2 opening picks.
I think just to narrow down your points in that around Yumi is that it was a missed opportunity from Big in that situation, and at least they're answering back, right?
Yeah.
They've come into the next round, they've got a couple of opening picks out from ramp, and even Gade looking further forward, hoping to catch off, refresh on a timing. Doesn't quite happen. Away back in, and it's just a fake. They're bringing that bomb back over to B.
Yeah, 2 entries a day. Heroic start to fluster their way over to that site, and Big's gone the other direction. Stown had a chance at it, but a little slow to react. Real fine angle to peek. They've got 2 AWPs here on Heroic, so priority will be, you imagine the save. Problem is, it can be very easy to tempt yourself into this here if you're Heroic, because, I mean, we call back to Nuke. How many times do they find themselves in spots like this, only to somehow win the round?
I haven't seen a lot of double AWPing for either team in this series. Refresh, catching off Tabson, so there's some exit damage to be done. You're just trying to hope to keep those double AWPs in that AK in play. We know that, Heroic have Stown as their double AWPer, and then Big have Keto from time to time that picks up that double Big green.
Yeah, typically Dust 2, I think, is the most used for
They play
Big.
that a lot, don't they? That's the unfortunate thing with the veto in this one, is that Heroic just don't play Dust 2.
It's like a natural advantage that they have. If Big were water, Heroic are electricity.
Oh my.
Yeah.
There we are.
I've been making a lot of weird Pokemon comparisons recently. I don't even know why. Haven't touched that genre in like 7 years, but
Spur of the moment, I guess.
yeah, it's just unfortunately Heroic naturally super effective.
Absolute classic. It's got everyone there. Big. Do they have the opening man advantage? Ooh. I thought for a moment Cadian was going to go for something risky.
Yeah, if he dropped into his own Molotov, would have been a madness play, but Searson, even on the flash, Cadian runs in at the perfect timing for Searson to pull the trigger. So an opening kill on the AWP versus AWP battle, and you could see how much reliance they have on Cadian to kind of lock down this B side of the map. They call 2 more players over, a 3rd man en route to kind of line up a bit of support. Actually, no, never mind. They're trying to take some ramp control, it seems like, here on the side of Heroic, just using one of these spawn lineups. And that smoke's enough to dial Big away from that A side of things.
It's kind of crazy to think, too, that we have Heroic and Big playing in this 9th, 12th decider bracket when both teams have won an RMR each. We saw Heroic winning, what was it, the DreamHack Open Fall 2020 event, and for Big, they won CS Summit 6. So both of these teams have actually come first in an RMR.
Now they're scrambling to make sure they don't fight for last. Oh, shush. The timing on the flash, but the spray transfer is missed out on. Keto was dropped so soon, but Tizian survives a little longer. Testis not Molotov out of position. Could wait for another flash opportunity. Stown will divert attention away, but they're just finding tags, not the kills instead. So it's a man down here for Heroic round these smokes, and it's dangerous stuff. Bomb now picked up here from Big. The smoke fades, and Refresh is just so out in the open. Big can get this down safely. The problem is Gade isn't sure whether his retreat back to that side is being covered. Yeah, Stown's backing off. AWP going to be too much of a priority save. The rest of the squad not exactly firm money, especially in the hands of Shush. Man, again, this time it felt like Heroic had all of these opportunities. The flash timing was perfect.
Yeah.
You know, they went for those aggro peaks. And then Testis' position as well. Just missing out on the shots.
Well, I was enjoying the patience in that 3v1 from Big, and that's kind of some of the details that you can catch from these high-end teams in the tier 1 atmosphere, is that there'll be 13, 14, 15 seconds on the clock, and they're not getting flustered at all, like some of the other teams we've maybe seen in the group stage in the RMR. That one right there, you've got, Gade playing behind generators, they've got the bomb. He's not panicking to get that down. Slow it down. Wait for the util to come in from your teammates. You've got the time available. Use it to its absolute lowest. And I think that's probably where some of the CIS teams in the RMR differ from the EU teams, is they try and use absolutely every second on that timer and don't just get the round over and done with. They'll stretch it right down to the last second.
It's like you imagine you sustain an injury, the last thing you want to do is add a load of movement to it so that you might bleed out. Sometimes that can be often where those tier 2 teams kind of find themselves. Yeah, you've beat the bear to death, but now you're seriously wounded. It's like mental bandaging for those late round situations. And both these teams have kind of run through similar gauntlets. You know, Heroic, once upon a time, really had to prove their way into the tier 1 scene. Of course, now that's not a question anymore. Big as well. They kind of fell out of favor, then found themselves in number 1, and now struggling to get themselves back. And beating Heroic would be a big upset.
Tessus, he's got to be careful he doesn't just get caught in the jiggles. Just a ramp take into an A-side execution could be on the card to pick. This is so much more pacey, and actually Tizian's going to be the first to fall. Yeah,
gap above the smoke and just spotting out the head. Also, one-way created for himself, but right through the smoke, there's Tabson on the response, just lining up a spam. Refresh is still contesting in this area, and they're making sure that this cannot be free territory here for Big. They use so much of their utility on this initial presence. Kadeen gets Molotoved off, but now Big, if they try to re-exec, they will have to do it a shell of their former selves. And Refresh ain't waiting around. He wants to take all of these fights. Still a trade in from Big, but they're a man down, and once again, lower and lower on that grenade count.
I know where the double AWPs are. Big and just got to try and hit these shots in dry. The NWPs are missing, and Keto actually punishes. Kadeen drops that bomb and now makes it slightly easier in this 2v1 situation. Gade, we've seen him in the clutches before. He really step up when it matters the most. He draws that first fight onto the AWPer, and now it comes down onto the next. He's got to try and see if he can bait out Kadeen. He's got a lot of time to work with, trying to jiggle the angle, and Gade swings out wide, gets a massive clutch that comes through from the Big side, and the Dane does it again and again.
How does he keep performing? I mean, today of all days, when Big know all they need is one win, Gade has been there to deliver in so many of these 1v2s. Oh, man, and the fact that he's peeking straight into 2 AWPs, we saw this miss after miss opportunity there for Heroic, but then Gade just played it patient. You know, he got the firm information, then he just committed to the wide swing. Great stuff. And now Heroic's money is broken, so Big can look to tie.
Oh, that's a way in. That's a real huge way in for Big. And they'll take all the advantages possible. Heroic are getting all the information. Well, there's nothing hanging around from lurk plays. Let's rotate players back quickly over to the A side.
They're taking a long way around. The scenic route. But not exactly expected to come away with too much. Containment would have been nice. Some weapons, sure. But Big kind of go in quickly. Make sure that they don't fall victim to the run down by these pistols. No harm, no foul. Heroic are looking to just kind of burst onto the scene and do some damage, seems like.
I might as well have a crack, I guess. What are you really losing? Maybe you get farmed if there's a Mac 10, which there isn't. Throw yourself. Try and see if you can draw some fights. Keep them in the bomb blast. Yeah. Let's have it. They get a pick. All right, they deal with Gade. Seriously, surely gonna die? No, taps him. Oh, almost an ace. Okay, they get a couple of kills. I would look at that as a decent round, really, for Heroic.
Yeah, they accomplished their goal. I think they may have pulled the pin a little too quickly. You know, could have potentially lined up to deal with those players saving in that corner that's become a bit notorious. But yeah, even if Tabson comes away with 4, 2 rifles dropped ain't nothing to scoff at. Back into this double AWP setup once again. Had a few difficulties on the A rotate. I think Stown hasn't really hit that same stride. Kadeen even a little shaky on some of these opening moments. Tessus loving the aggression here. Heroic taking a lot of territory down towards A. Gade around the corner and just trying to keep him busy. Make sure that they don't over push, but oh my god, what? He's spamming away at ramp all the way at the back, and I don't think he's going to go clear Tessus, but through the smoke, he's catching bullets.
And normally you might see an SMG do that, right? When you aggress forward in the smoke, you start running forward, you may jump around, hope to find a pick, and, well, the AK is going to be able to do the job. There is a trade back that does come in quite quickly. Some over-aggression out to the B stairs, and Heroic know we need an advantage. We need to try and take a fight. Let's try and get our way back into the round. No one's really there to trade at the B stairs.
Yeah, both for Heroic and Big, B has been isolated fights galore, it feels like. Now the Orpos down does make its way over. Oh, time just missed out on that wide swing, but Tabson not ready for the peak. Ready to clear the close left, and Stown now steps up to the plate, doubling up on the affair. Smoke will meet him, but even as it blooms, Searson's gone too. Gate has nothing to do. Holding for the flank, you know, he locked down his side of the map. Where's the rest of the squad gone? Heroic guaranteed the 6th. Unless we see something ridiculous. Doesn't seem like Gade's really picking up the pace at all. Don't think he fancies his chances. Yeah, there will be another buy around the corner here for Big. So this opportunity shot down. And finally that double AWP really coming into like full flavor, it feels like.
Yeah, Stown in another world could be a primary AWPer. And maybe when he's so young, he's only, what, 19? You have a look at a couple of years in the future. Maybe he goes, you know what, I do want to be a primary AWPer. For now, he's a secondary, and my goodness, does he really hold on. 3 kills there on the B side. He's not getting hit by a crazy amount of utility. He even had an anchor player that just wasn't even peeking. He was just baiting, wasn't he? Just not even fighting at all. The AWP's like, yeah, no worries, mate. Don't peek. I've got you. It's all good.
Just pick up my AWP when I die.
Yeah.
And then he didn't die. Yeah, great peek after peek. You can see them trying to chase them down, but yeah, you're right. Not as much utility as maybe you'd expect there for Big to try and go for that chase. A man with a lot of utility, I think, was Tabson, and yeah, he didn't get too much accomplished with it.
Ooh, smoke from there. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, it's a con one for mid, it seems like. So this could be some room here for Tizian to try and find. The problem is that Stown's kind of cheated past that in at those boxes, and Testis, all the meanwhile, it has found a kill at ramp. So Big are going to have to pick up the pace here. I think the jig is up, and Kadeen is there to meet the aggression in from Keto.
It might just all come down to these AWPs. Honestly, for Heroic on the CT side, we're seeing Tessus get very overly aggressive. That was a play that wasn't necessary.
Yeah, they already had the numbers to play off of. Now Katie, and the flick is missed. Again, these shaky moments do seem to come back time and time over. Refresh. Oh, he's accounted for. Tizian turns in time. Now triggering the plant. Big 3-on-3. These AWPs aren't finding too much. The shush angle held around that side of the smoke is a big deal, but Tizian there to answer back. It's AWPs here on the retake here for Heroic, and they finally find an angle there on Tizian. Oh, and find as well Searson round the corner. You could see Searson's POV. It didn't even seem like he caught a glimpse of him, but the double AWP for the retake comes through.
And normally we always say double AWPs on the retake, it's tough. Very difficult to isolate those fights, and well held, because it really felt as if in that whole situation, the AWPs were posted, and Big were the one that made the mistakes. It wasn't exactly like Heroic were moving forward. They're initiating a lot of those fights. They were just holding their crossfires and waiting for Big to start charging in. 7 on the board for Heroic. I wonder how many CT rounds are enough. You have to look at this sort of perspective from Heroic looking to get back into the series. Do we look at maybe 8 or 9 as being the goal and the target for Heroic?
I think 9 is definitely the target. I would hazard as much. Again, they're fine enough on this map, sure, but a little flub movement there from Shush. If they rushed him down, would have been very vulnerable. I think they can actually get up to that placeholder number. I don't think we'll get an accurate representation. Heroic have their own goals in mind. How dare you? We'll close out this half 10. Double smokes over at this B site. Once again, Stown will receive that pressure. Has that AWP once again. And Shush is playing close. They're trying to make this wrap work here on the side of Big, and that's to isolate the retreat and the rotate. Stown does find them in the back lines, but they're now overwhelming. They're all over the site.
Oh my goodness, what a great round from Big. It looked as if there was so much chaos going on. The way that they get the cross smoke, they fight CT, and then as well, the CTs, where do you look? Are you waiting for the wrap? Are you waiting for them to come up from the stairs? You don't know where you're looking. And for Tabson, he gets a P250 kill, gets an M4, gets a second follow-up. Okay, go take this, mate. Try and see if you can do some more damage with it.
They're playing gun game over here on this B site. It's quick hands. here from Big. And I mean, what a rushdown strat, though. The fact that they're able to isolate that rotation so quickly. You
Yeah,
can see,
I like it.
I mean, yeah, it's a fantastic little pocket strategy to pull out of nowhere. Heroic, like you said, just, I mean, where do you look?
Yeah, just getting caught in two minds. What doesn't help is how quickly the rotate gets dealt with. Because if the anchor player falls and you sort of get yourself set up and you've got the util, you can sometimes have some more comfortability. It's just the way that the CT player is the one that falls the quickest. Great shot coming in. And even for Stown, he's kind of isolated with the AWP. He loses his teammate. He's just looking everywhere. He's just hoping for another fight. Doesn't quite present itself. And Big, that's probably a round you steal out of nowhere. Yeah, it was a nice strat and all. Are you expected to win it? Probably not. You're just looking for damage in a bomb plant. They get away with the whole ring.
Well, now, best case scenario is 9 here for Heroic. And now the nade as well, damaging Kaden early. Tessus as well tagged. How many times has he gone for this short fight? Big are very privy to it, so giving him a taste of spam. And jumping into the angle, Searson, no idea Kaden's close.
It's all about the opening fights, and even though damage has been done, it's Big that are now starting to lose even more. Keto losing that fight onto the B player, Shush, and things just get so much more difficult out from the ramp hold. Tessa's just trying to hold a crack angle when the smoke starts to dissipate. Will get heard on the tag of the molly, so they know that he's around here somewhere.
Oh, Flash is great though. Tabson taken out of the equation. Gade will find the trade. 4-on-2 and Refresh, making sure they cannot go up side lanes. Gade thought about throwing the smoke, but trying to remain elusive for now. Oh, timing could be good for this. Peeking around that corner. Gade was so good at jiggle peeking those fights previously, but too many members to account for. And even after losing against the half-buy, Heroic immediately answer back. They find these opening kills, and we've seen this a few times from them. They're not just satisfied with a 5-on-3. If they can get that additional information as to where remaining big players are, they'll take it.
Yeah, pressure being applied. And for Big, we start looking at Tabson and thinking to himself, all right, how's he going to pull him out of this one? Because he was leading by the front, not only with the calling, but the frags in the first map. Hasn't quite presented its same sort of ability here on Vertigo.
Much pace here from the big side. Azian does find the trade on the MAC-10, but there's the instant response. Refresh has been there to cut the slack each and every time, but these SMGs are just overwhelming. Surely not. This isn't another half buy or scrappy buy that Big can pull together. There is a flank that is being threatened. It's all about keeping them distracted, make sure that their eyes are in front, but Big are thinking about rotating back themselves.
Stown gets one, but surely doesn't get the second. And now the sort of whole idea, where is Searson?
What
He's
a
in the
timing.
backlines. Oh no, he's whiffed it completely. He saw both players, tried to cut the rotate, and the Deagle doesn't find it.
Oh my goodness. That's heartbreaking here for Big. They had a great read. Now it's Keto clutch and Shush on the off angle, taking the wide swing. It falls right in front of them. It's a 9th round for Heroic to get this one off the ground here on Vertigo. We'll see if they can continue that momentum swing and bring back this series, force it a 3rd map in the second half.
This world is slowing down. How can I fight it?
Yumi. We saw Gade playing nearly 150 maps with Cadian in North from late September of 18th to early April of 2019. Imagine joining up with the big side to 2-0 them, to reverse sweep it, because they've been down 4 times in head-to-heads.
Oh man, just to have that side swap, now he could be the lethal weapon that takes you out of it. It's interesting start to things though. Big on the CT side, Circe and Tabson, they're both chiming in a piece, and Tabson's got 2, all to add to the tally. A 4-on-2 right off the bat. Heroic haven't got too much going here on this A bomb site. The smokes are down, all that utility's already hit the deck, and the flashes are in, but they're not finding anything from it. No distance into this site. And now it all comes grinding to a halt. Those smokes will fade. They'll have no real opportunity. Just have to commit to these wide swings, these solo peaks. Hope that going dry works out. Cadian rotates in, and he knows that there are big players nearby. Oh, dink in from onto Keto is great, though. So room over at A that Stoun's called the rotation for.
Oh, Tabson, though. Does he get caught off by the wraparound? The peak tries to turn around from Star, but it doesn't quite happen. Cadian in the 1v3. How does he even get a bomb down in this position? He knows that Tabson's still aggressive out from ramp. There's 2 B players here for Big.
Oh, timing's great for this mid steps. So Searson knows what's coming. He accounts for it, and he gets 2 himself. Between him and Tabson, they get all 5 between them. And Big, they'll take another pistol. The problem has been throughout this series so far, the second round after winning the pistol. Can they keep that one together?
Yeah. Well, there wasn't a bomb plant, so it does mean on the force up for Heroic, there's not quite the Galils or the Hero AK investments.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 for 4 in pistols, and not once ever a conversion. Oh, this is quick. This is very fast out in mid.
Gotta get worried here for Big. They could get run over on this B-side approach. They want to just descend from the heavens, but no, they're cut off on the rotate. The smoke is down immediately, and now Heroic, they're actually kind of reconsidering things. They just pumped the brakes.
I'm very surprised about that. They had such a decent chance of just running wild into that B-side, and as soon as that counter utility comes in, it slows things down. There are so many players in CT Spawn that might just be on for the taking. Tabson completely blind. His teammate of Gade does get dealt with. There's a lot of chip damage in for these CTs, and the bomb, it gets dropped in the worst position. The trades are decent, and Refresh is waiting for an overextension. Tizian's now going to try and defend with that MT9. His teammate is so far away. That's his first. He needs to follow up, and it doesn't happen. Saracen has now got to try and come away from that B-side to retake.
It can't keep happening. It cannot. Big constantly winning these pistols and then suddenly Excalibur clutch. Searson does find one player isolated. Stoun looking to find rotations. Deep CT spawn could be coming down to timing. Searson seems to be accounting for it. Smoke will be out. Stoun not pulling the trigger on it just yet, so not revealing his location. Searson doesn't have a kit, so he has to move quick about this, and now that he's finally found Stoun, has to win this fight outright because it's too long of a kit stick to get, and Searson will get both kills. He finds the right timing even while jumping up. The problem is, it's going to be real close here on the defuse, but Searson, it looks like he's got it. Oh, that's a huge sigh of release here for the big camp, because if you really consider it, that's the first time they've gotten that second round together, but it had to be the Searson clutch.
Oh my goodness, a great clutch. Really, we saw the B defenders having a tough time, even out in CT Spawn. It started off so well from Tabson, and then him and Gade just get overwhelmed completely, and the clutch has to come through. And for Big, that really must just feel like all of the weight has been taken off their shoulders, that finally we haven't choked that second round again.
Yeah, because then Heroic are kind of postured up to build on a lead. Smoke deep B here from Big. They want to make Heroic nervous about this one. There's a scout around the side though, so it's easy enough to clear here from Heroic. Another smoke may be required. Searson all the meanwhile over on the A side. House on a pick on the AWP. So I think Heroic may just get funneled into this one. Don't know how much territory Searson's going to continue pushing for, and with them kind of 3 postured B, be a great place to burst.
There is that one player of Tizian that's defending B without any head Kevlar, so that Mac 10 or Khalil can just run wild. Keto with a great timing on the swing, and Heroic is struggling with the picks. We saw that opening AWP pick out onto A, and there's so many defenders on this B side. I don't know if Heroic just continue to commit.
And once again, they slow down, and Stoun's actually found and put one to Pound Town. So this 4-on-3 definitely gets a little interesting. Heroic have options. The fact that they moved away from B, they've only got the smoke and the Molotov and a flash to really flush Keto out. He's got help as well.
Oh, great timing again on some of these pigs. Just the way that they're holding angles for so long, and then just when they have a gut feeling, okay, flash now. It's been a good 20 seconds since we haven't heard anything. Cadian gets peeked off. They peek together. Very smart there for Big. They realize how close they are to that situation on B. All right, why give up another isolated fight? We don't have another flash to get us through, so I'm not going to set you up with util. Let's just peek together.
Not to mention, I think we've noticed the tendency already from this Heroic T side to immediately just like hover if their initial aggression doesn't work. And so Big aren't kind of getting led into this full sense of security of, okay, we dealt with the B side push, you know, now we can maybe move towards a stack the other direction, because sometimes, especially on these low buys, it'd be very easy to read into what the alternative plan is for a T side. But Heroic have often stood their ground and kind of worked the advantage from there, or rather disadvantages, as it's often been. So a couple adaptations already coming out from the CT side, it feels like, and you know, that extra vote of confidence by getting a pistol in the secondary. Things are really looking up here for Big to pull this one together, potentially force this upset, and book them their place into the major.
Yeah, there's a lot riding on it for Big, and I wonder how you funnel that pressure. Do you put it as a positive or a negative, knowing you're now 9-9? Saracen with the AWP has got it out very early in that last round, and Heroic just don't bring much to the table. Yeah, you got the hero Galil out of all weapons. What else do you really have to back it up? Some util, some upgraded pistols, some Kevlar here or there. Could be some damage being created.
Oh, if these counter flashes are going to keep blinding as many Heroic players as they have been, then do worry about their ability to scale. Smokes will be met on this A bomb site. They're trying to get in with these pistols. They are full flash. Big can get run down with the tech as the bomb dropped right at his feet. Tabson round the corner with him, and they double swung into those fights. They know Gate is still here though, and he has that bomb controlled. Heroic need to be able to get this one back into their favor. Soon all those smokes will fade, but they're just not getting the kills. Gabe gets out of there because he knows that that's a great opportunity for Heroic for an isolated fight. This is Clowny. They can't get anything going. All those smokes fade, and nothing going well for Heroic.
Mate, I was just going to praise Saracen for the patience of not peeking up from Orange. It takes him so long to peek. They're all waiting for that fight, aren't they? And then eventually he peeks up, catches one. They've got themselves a 4v2, and notice Saracen just gets on top of Orange and just starts walking forward. And he goes, actually, this might be a little bit more difficult than I thought. Let's run away again. Let's just get back into safety. And for Tabson, he stayed alive at the back of yellow, that banger position, for so long, right?
Yeah, I can't believe like him and Gade were just constantly just pressurizing the Heroic side, because they wanted to just get that bomb planted and force retakes, but
yeah,
couldn't even get step one down.
Heroic are gonna have to dig deep. They are not having an easy time at all in the second half, and it feels like finally we've actually seen what Big can be like, pressing from the front in a half. Because you have a look at map one, half two back foot. First half of Vertigo, again, same response, winning pistol, then losing 5 rounds in a row. Now we're starting to see some comfortability. We're seeing money start to grow. We've got an AK down on Taquito, already an opening man advantage. Yes, they've given up that map control to ramp. There's a lot going for Big here.
Yeah, big part is that utility and the ability to afford it. So often round breaks do cause you to run a little light on the belt. And I love that Big aren't just sitting into the site. Sometimes I think I've been critical. You know, they're sometimes too passive. That hasn't been exemplified this series. Constantly moving in for more information. Saracen in at the sandbags now. Problem is that the rest of Heroic could set themselves up for a very quick burst. Saracen needs to perform in at these sandbags. It's so hard to get more than just one.
Oh, is he done now? I mean, he can put the smoke down for a molly.
No mollies.
Which they don't have any. So here, Tabson can just peek on the contact. There's so much attention being drawn out from the sandbags, and Saracen with the AWP is going to peek up. That's very eager, trying to see if he can create something, and the B player has been dealt with. That's Tizian completely now disappearing on the side, and Stow may even deal with the rotate. Keto is so low. This could be an easy kill. Might be right, actually. No, it's going to go down just in time, I think. Oh my goodness, and Tabson gets a couple of kills. Now that's going to be it. That's the bomb getting dropped. So many back and forth emotions in that round. Oh, thought for a moment that Tessus could have got hunted after time. It didn't happen. I'm pretty sure, Yumi, that bomb just had
Yeah,
time to
I
go
think
down.
just narrowly.
But Tapson had a couple of kills, right? And he dropped it.
Yeah. Oh, man. And you could see exactly what Heroic's thought process was there. They dealt with that B-side player. You know, they get that room, but we're hitting that about 15-second mark where the call is made. Let's run it back over towards this B-side. And you worry about that timing. It was narrow, but because they had to commit to those plans, just unable to really put the firepower needed to hold onto that control. And Big, once again, in this driver's seat. Heroic running a little light. They don't have flashes. Only these smokes and a singular Molotov. They need these fights, and they need them cleanly. Big have been contesting ramp continuously. This time they can at least clear out the sandbags, but a 5-smoke execute, nothing else.
Oh, just the chip damage. This isn't helping at all. Heroic haven't even had a chance of creating a fight or winning a duel, and they're already getting chipped in. Refresh even lower with the spam, and they're looking to retake ramp.
This is why I love they haven't been waiting around for their opportunity to come to them. Could have been a great chance to pounce, but they just wanted to get Gate secured in this position. Again, there are no Molotovs now for Heroic. They cleared this out earlier as well.
Do they expect 2 rounds in a row? That's the whole idea of they've done it once and they're going to do it again. And Tabs just continuous spam, trying to see if they can just get another pick forward. Wide swing out from the alley entrance, does get a 1-for-1 trade for Tessus. Oh, they've got to check sandbags.
They won't. They cleared it earlier in the round with the Molotov, so Gate springs in for 2. That's the bomb dropped in at ramp. Tessus, sure, he has side lane control, but they're trying to set and keep Gate alive for as long as possible. Gate's got 3. Stown was lurking into the B bomb site, hoping for similar success, but there's no one home. No bomb, no nothing. Another round for Big.
Oh my goodness, Gate again. Another great multi-frag round from him. That gets him up to 16. And no audience member wants to see an individual that's made a roster change into a new lineup struggle, right? We want to see them do well. And for Gade, knowing that this is the game that could get you into the major, there could not be any more pressure on this best of 3 for Big to perform. And he is looking fantastic. He is really stepping up in a way that we haven't seen from him this entire tournament.
Yeah, and it's kind of going to that strength I was talking to you about previously. You know, from previous rosters here for Gade, it felt like he just had the raw mechanics and just often needed to be put in the right spots to succeed. And you could see that prioritization now from Big to put him in the sandbags angle that, yeah, has all the benefits of being cleared earlier on, so it's not going to be accounted for there from Heroic. And then you just see the turret do its work. Yeah, Gate has been a big surprise coming into this series. We didn't see these burst outs from the group stage, so...
No. Again, he was, what, 7 maps? I mean, that does include the overtime tiebreakers. I don't know how much you can really draw from that. He was negative 15 KD, average 0.90 rating.
Yeah.
Now, it's not, 1.3, 1.4 in this series and in this map, but my goodness, that's a big step up from then.
Have they found the solution? Is, I suppose, the big question here for Big. A 2-0 over Heroic would certainly have people questioning it. Taking a lot of tag damage. Tizian's deep B stairs and hidden behind those boxes, so it'll be a hard one for Shush to clear. Not a lot of action. A little slow round here from Heroic. Again, running a little light on some of that utility. They've gone with that hero AK down, and that could get dropped very quickly. Yeah, Tabson full HP around that corner, wins the trade. Oh my goodness, the utility. Wow.
Yeah, there's just not much going for them at all. Trying to see if they can make their way up to the sites. There are some of the orb, maybe on for a couple of frags. There's so many teammates in and around, so really for Heroic, if they just keep swinging out wide, the trades aren't going to go down well at all. And they're just hoping for damage, hoping to drop these AKs, because there's just so many for Big that even 1 kill, it's like, right, we've dropped an AK, we've given ourselves an advantage in the next round.
Man, the Shush tags were actually very close. Tabson's on 6 HP. Still no kill. Oh, they're really just hoping for one of these to somehow find something. Kaden with that M4. Kind of slow working, trying to double peek alongside Refresh. Tierson ain't giving him the chance, ain't giving him the time of day.
Kind of Heroic. Yeah.
There's just nothing going to happen
Yeah.
here. Plan going to be attempted. Refresh is actually covered at a distance. Kaden keeping him alive, but Searson through the box. Come on, man. Give him a chance. He's trying to escape. And now Kaden, a 1-on-4. Deeg out distance. Searson's dropped. Now just trying to make sure that they can't get this defuse running not too soon. Big, a Molotov in. Mancadian actually siphoned off from the angle. Has to take the high ground instead, but they're sticking the defuse. It will be snuffed out from right under his nose. And Cadian cannot even get away with his M4. No freebies allowed. It's 13 for Big. They have built some distance here.
And if any of the viewers at home are maybe fans of patterns or coincidences, the last time we saw Big winning a head-to-head Yumi against Heroic was in another IEM event in the 7th of October 2020. Today is the 5th of October. Is there something wild going on here?
Something about this month, man.
It's October time, and so is Siriuson's time. That's the early tag. It's chip damage. It's a way in, and even for Gade, he's just trying to get a stray bullet, just trying to see if he can get some spam into that ramp smoke. And for Heroic, they've had a really difficult time of taking ramp with having everyone on 100 HP. It just never happens.
We enter the month of the spooky holiday, and it could be spooky Sunday. The lineup for Searson almost lands, but it's just to find the instantaneous trade. Basically doubled up on top of each other. The counter utility, though, on this B site has been great for Big in previous rounds. Again, a Molotov to prevent the split. And now, pushing past the Molotov, and just as it fades, Tizian gets one. Keto as well clears the low in front of him, and he's going to be able to hold true. In at the generators, they do not track him down, so he's a massive thorn in their side. Reinforcements is coming, though. Caden with that AWP looking to get there in time.
I love that Keto's not overextending. He's just jiggle picking. He's just not wide swinging. He's making it so difficult for them to get that pick back. And he even deals with refresh. Cadian's got to try and clutch again. NWP 1v3 gets the first, but it's the lineup, right? Both players playing, I guess, in the same position, just with a separate height advantage. Just having that verticality of tabs and up there. 14 on the board from Big. Another tactical timeout from the Danes for Heroic. This CT side has really impressed me on Vertigo.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot to be impressed with how Big have really responded throughout this entire series. Sure, that first map may have had some difficulties, but as soon as they got that lead, you know, they win these pistols, they end up in this second half. Now they are in firm control. They haven't let go since they have entered this side. And yeah, Heroic need responses. These opening duels haven't been that successful. They're often so light in utility by the time it grinds out to that late round, which is kind of what Heroic want in a lot of instances. They want to go for these late round executes, but they are constantly losing out on these utility exchanges. Anytime they think they can sneak players in, it's often been a bit of a red herring. Does the pace change? Do we see a bit more mid-focus? Feels like Heroic need a response. Searson ain't allowing them even the chances, though. Tessus past the ramp smoke, gets plucked out.
We know Orpus love playing up to that 51 area, and if you're backed up by utility, you're in for an easy time to deal with that lurk. Keto thinking about some more presence out to the B stairs. Could put a HE down, could it do some mass damage? Try and see if it can help him out further late into the round. And for Big, this is what, 8 rounds in a row looking to go 9th? They were down 6-9 at the half.
Here we go. This run just don't stop. And now Gate up close. Another position where he could succeed. Doubled up over at B as well. They're both behind the plywood. This is very susceptible to spam if one of them gets spotted early.
Oh, it's a bait though, isn't it? They're going to think one player's here. They're going to think Keto's the only one. Oh, okay, the other M4 fires away. It's still damage, and now Keto's just got to try and stay alive. Teammates are coming on rotation. It's going to be Tabson, the nearest one there. They don't know he's here already.
Oh, Stown doesn't get anything. They both potentially line up, and yeah, the B bomb site hasn't been taken just yet. Tabson's there in time, and the refresh has to clutch. 30 seconds, this bomb is close by, but he has to find these isolated duels. Tabson finally dealt with, but he's down to 8 HP. And there's not many places he can go either. That molly just fades. Oh god, they're again going for this double swing round the smoke, and it's different elevations over and over. They knew that there was only one path that Refresh could take. Big, now the tiniest distance away from pulling us through this series 2-0 and booking themselves into the major.
Jeez, they have been tested in this second half, but my goodness, have they been able to show up, Yumi. We've seen post plants. We've seen multiple post plants coming through from Heroic. And in that one right there, just notice how quickly Tabson's able to get into position to defend that B side and how they even had the idea of that mid backstab, right?
Yeah. Oh, man, they've been so dialed in. The nades and the frag there from Searson accounting for the boost. Nothing going right. Any gimmick, any small advantage they're hoping to find has been met at the gates. Big, this CT side, take a bow. So far, so good. There's still a chance. Of course, we know Heroic might be able to pull this back, but all these opportunities have often been missed out, and Testis, again, doesn't get the lurk to see success. They're 2 on 5. It's seeming like Big are booking themselves in.
Oh, Heroic, they've run out of steam in their second half, and Big know just the importance of being able to claim this 5v2, claiming this 16th round, 2 kills away from making their big ticket into the major. Keto on the site itself to defend with Tizian. Both players thinking on the contact and the timings, everything. The M4 peeks out, the trade's there, and Big are going to the major.